They put out a newsletter last December that had an image of a homeless person sleeping in a stairway to the parking lot on one day. And then there was the image, it was a before and after. And then there was an image taken a couple of days later that said, look how good we are. The stairway was empty. Problem solved. Problem fucking solved. He or she, whoever it was that was sleeping there, was gone. Aren't we great? And give us more city money, give us more property tax dollars, which is supposed to be something decided by all of us, but that's a longer discussion. But give us more property tax dollars, give us more city money. We will make these fucking people disappear. And that'll be good for business, and if it's good for business, it's good for the city. And if it's good for the city and it's good for business, it's good for America. Because the neoliberal policies that we used to export to South America and Central America and what became banana republics, which was named after the Chiquita Company because they ran fucking governments down there. It wasn't a misnomer. It wasn't just somebody decided to call it banana republics. It was Chiquita that caused that label. And now we could call them bid republics. And we would call them bid republics at the local level. And it's the same mindset that government is subservient to the needs and the wants and the interest of the business community. And our campaign with the Homeless Bill of Rights is to say, we feel that when you look at the ugly laws, when you look at the Chinese Exclusion Act, when you look at Operation Wetback, when you look at Jim Crow, when you look at anti-Okie laws, when you look at the pattern and practice of local governments using their power, their ability to pass and implement local ordinances that criminalizes the existence of people they don't want in their area, then you have abused your privilege. You have abused your right. And so we're going to take that right away from you. And we're going to remove the time, place, and manner, as they call it, authority of local governments to dictate laws and to use local police to implement those and to enforce those laws. Now, this ain't gonna happen freaking overnight. This is not getting a resolution passed. This is not, this is saying that we went back and looked at history, and from 1867, when San Francisco was the first city in the country to pass the ugly laws, which were specifically aimed at disabled panhandlers, and swept across the country to the fact that they weren't overturned finally. The last time it was taken off the books was Chicago in 1972. Now, I'm not saying Chicago enforced it till 72. It just didn't come off the books till then. But in the early 1900s, it was a very popular law to remove disabled people from public spaces. And it said if you were maimed, disabled, and nuisance to the point of being a hindrance, that you could be arrested. And you could be taken to an almshouse, or today you would call them a shelter, or you could be criminalized for those activities. And like today what we see, for years I would talk about this shit, and I would talk about how the three largest residential mental health facilities in the United States are local jails, which means chump change misdemeanor fucking offenses. And it was LA County Jail, the Cook County Jail, and Rikers Island. No, actually it was LA County, Rikers Island, Cook County. Cook County, Chicago. Rikers Island is New York. And then the next one was a residential facility, an actual treatment facility. 2 years ago, it changed. Now Houston is the 4th largest. So an actual treatment hospital became the 5th largest, and Houston County Jail took over as the 4th largest residential mental health facility. So your 4 largest treatment programs for mentally ill people that are indigent are fucking county jails. Not prisons, jails. And it's overwhelmingly quality of life, nuisance enforcement, safer cities initiatives, whatever the fuck they want to call it at the local level. But it's overwhelmingly using sitting, loitering, panhandling, sitting, sleeping, disobeying a sign is an up and coming one, because now that they're closing all the parks at night, instead of getting you for sleeping or camping, they can get you for disobeying the sign. And of course, the overwhelming impact of that is going to be on the poorest and the people of color and the people with disabilities. That's where the overwhelmingly shit is going to hit the fan. I mean, if you don't think that racism plays a role in terms of how laws get enforced, even at our level, when I was homeless, you know, I could get away with an open beer. I would dump the shit out. You know, but overwhelmingly the cops that were giving me shit for having an open beer, and trust me, I had an open beer when I was sleeping hell, I had an open beer today, what the fuck? But, you know, overwhelmingly they were white too, just like me. You know, and I could get away with that shit. I was emancipated when I was 16 instead of putting the YGC. There's no way in upstate New York with hash and open containers driving a car without a license, I wouldn't have been put in fucking YGC if I had been black or Latino. You know, there's just no fucking way. But the judge felt sorry for me, I got emancipated, and all of a sudden at 16 I had the rights of a fucking adult. You know, this shit plays out. And it plays out in LA, it plays out in San Francisco, it plays out in Oakland, it plays out in Berkeley.